I would like to just express our apologies for being a bit late. The Honorable Minister is on his way and he will be here in 5 minutes, so we'll be starting in 5 minutes. Thank you. I'm sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, I request all of you to take your seats and please put your phones in the silent mode, please. Ladies and gentlemen and friends, we welcome you all and thank you all for gracing this wonderful occasion. Before we start, I would just like to say a few words about today's event. Friends, the strategic importance of Northeast India and its geostrategic and geoeconomic location have always been known and recognized by all. But now what has made the region further important and relevant, even in terms of international relations and commerce, is the coming up of Act East policy. Now what is Act East policy? Act East policy is first emerging as one of the main pillars of foreign policy of new Indian government of Shri Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji. It's an upgradation from the earlier Look East policy promulgated in the early 1990s that came to articulate India's engagement, primarily commercial and economic, with Southeast Asia and East Asia. Look East policy was aimed at cementing strong economic ties between India and the prosperous Southeast Asian and East Asian economies. In this process, India's poor but resource-rich and militancy-invested Northeast was supposed to be a huge beneficiary of this engagement with the Eastern economies by acting as India's frontier base. But the experience of the last 20 years hasn't been satisfactory at all. Look East policy's performance remained below par. It also could not result in any outstanding transformation on the ground, neither in terms of India's engagement with East Asian and Southeast Asian economies, nor in terms of heralding an economic miracle for India's Northeast. Also, over the last couple of years, it got abundantly clear that the somewhat pro-passive Look East policy became incapable of keeping pace with the enormous changes going on in these countries. So India needed a much more proactive approach for quite some time. Act East policy is an expression of that. Under its direction, India will actively engage with East Asian and Southeast Asian nations and develop robust economic ties with them, effecting in the process economic transformation of its Northeast. One way to achieve this is by strengthening regional economic cooperation and integration. ASEAN and the proposed BCIM, that is Bangladesh, China, India and Myanmar Economic Corridor, are emerging as the most vital components of this new policy. Also important to mention here is that Act East is, by some people, is expected to work in tandem with President Obama's pivot to Asia policy. This shows India's desire and activism to be in tune with the major international economic and geopolitical trends. As Act East is creating the buzz in national media and diplomatic and policy circles, the participation of civil society and public is another important component of a transparent and effective developmental-centric state policy. Our effort is aimed at creating a positive public awareness among the Northeastern people through a seminar about this great initiative by the central government and the Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji. This will in turn help create a favorable public opinion for the government's efforts. I'd just like to add the aims and objectives of the seminar. Our main effort and objective is aimed at creating a positive public awareness among the Northeastern people through this seminar about this great policy, that is Act East policy and initiative taken by the central government and the Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji for this region. Second objective of this seminar is to bridge the gap between Delhi and India's Northeast. Another important objective is to make Northeast and its intelligentsia a part and active stakeholder in national policy making process. And the targeted audience is the Assamese and Northeastern intelligentsia, which can be groomed as a strong lobbying bloc for the interest of the Northeast. And finally, this seminar tries to revive the process of exploring new avenues and areas of business and development for the poor but resource-rich and skill-rich Northeast India. Thank you, gentlemen. Now we open this forum for discussion. I'll request my colleague, Sri Abhik Paul, to take the stage. Thanks.
We would like to start this seminar with the traditional lighting of the lamp. We would request our Honorable Minister Shri Sarvananda Sonowal, our Honorable MP of Guwahati, Vijay Baido, and Mr. Humayun Kabir, and Mr. Shrikant Kondapalli to please come on stage. And the Vice Chancellor of Dibrugarh University, Mr. Alok Borogohain. We would request the members of KLWIT to please accompany the dignitaries on stage for the lighting of the lamp. I'd like to present to you a traditional Assamese song that expresses the beauty of this land and the aspiration of its people.